Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A, where we answer the sporting questions from the chat, people. And obviously, as you can see from the title, Borussia Dortmund knock out PSG, and they are now through to the Champions League final, and they will play the winner of the other semi-final from today, Bayern Munich taking on Real Madrid. Well, I should say Real Madrid taking on Bayern Munich. So we could get another all-German final at Wembley, or we could get Real Madrid in another Champions League final as well. Where's my other hat still? I don't even know where it is, people. Big up to everyone who was on the playback too as well. But like I said, get your questions in, people. Get your questions in the chat. And if you are a member of the channel, your question takes priority like a super chat. Of course, if you super chat, that will take priority as well, people. But make sure you hit the like button on the video. So important you do that. Run up the likes expeditiously. Please make sure you share this across all of the socials as well. And on top of those two things, make sure you subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. So you already know, hit the like button. Make sure you following at That's Me Flawless and at Sarcasm City TV across all socials. And on top of those two things, subscribe to the channel. Is road to 12K over here as well. I'm sure I'll be joined by more of the gang. But I'm going to get to your questions regardless. Whatever you lot want to ask about. I'm sure the vast majority of the questions will be about Dortmund knocking out PSG. Obviously, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. Might be NBA playoffs. Maybe Premier League related, with both Arsenal and Manchester City fighting for the title as well. But big up to AJB. I see you. Big up Warrior J. Brussels says, big up Flawless. I'm so hyped. Airplane tickets for London booked already. Yeah, man, enjoy, man. Enjoy. I'm guessing you're a Dortmund fan, so big up to you by the black and yellow love hearts. Enjoy. That's what I would say. Is Hummels top 3 centre-back in the world? I don't watch him like that, but I'd say no. But Hummels and Schlotterbeck today on point. Dortmund game plan was phenomenal and down to it, and they applied it. And they applied that game plan to a T. Gave PSG nothing. PSG did hit the woodwork 3 or 4 times, but it was all from long shots. Like, you have to salute Borussia Dortmund's manager, the coaching staff for what they did and got to that final. And it goes to show, just having a system and having players who applied themselves with some talent in there, and you can end up in the Champions League final. We've watched it now twice. We watched it this year. We've seen it now this year and last year with teams who were not mentioned as going to the final, able to go to the final. Nobody had Borussia Dortmund getting to the Champions League final. Last season, nobody had Inter Milan getting to a Champions League final. So how have these two teams managed to do it? Like I say, with a good manager, with the right system, with some talent, favorable draw, you can end up in a Champions League quarterfinal, semi-final, or final. It's really not that difficult. It's really, really not. Salute to Dortmund, like I said, man. Salute to, I think is his name. I forgot the Dortmund manager's name, but salute to him. Did the business. You know what I'm saying? And that for real. Big up my nephew in the chat, H. I'm blessed. Well, you lot get your questions in, people. Get your questions in the chat. Like I say, hit the like button, man, and subscribe. But questions, because it's rare you get me on here by myself. So this is you lot's time to ask me questions. Got questions, get them in right now as we speak. And in regards to the semi-final today, because it's technically today now, and it's technically the day of the Real Madrid Bayern Munich second leg, I should add. I have Real Madrid going through. I think they'll do the business. I think Real Madrid will have too much for Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich had to go there with a lead to win the game. And that's how I looked at the Arsenal Bayern Munich game. That's what I would say. That's how I looked at the Arsenal Bayern Munich game. But then again, that's how I looked at the Real Madrid Manchester City game. And I thought with Real Madrid, the only chance they would go through is if they took a lead to the Etihad, and they didn't. And then I thought they had no chance. The only way I've seen them getting through was on penalties, and it happened. That's what I would say. Is my mic all good and everything? I mean, I'd even double check. How lazy of me. To AJB, says, Flawless, how's the fitness coming along? Not good, but I'm getting back on it. I'm going to go jogging tomorrow. Well, today, technically. So that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm looking to go jogging the next 4 days. Actually, Sunday as well. So the rest of the week. So yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So all 5 days. Because for those that don't know, I'm playing in a charity match the end of this month at the Molineux. And they said in the group chat as well, tickets will be on sale, but it won't be on sale till the 15th. So that's next week. Yeah, because it's the 8th now. So yeah, that's not till next week as well. To Ali, who says some people seem to forget Dortmund out of the group of death comfortably. Hey, shoot, salute to Dortmund, man. Even Jez was like, I didn't see this coming. Salute to Dortmund, real ones. Love this, Dominic. Everyone quiet now. All them people who are talking so much smoke on Sancho's name are quiet now. Quiet now. Remember, all bad attitude, and he's a crybaby, and no other top team in Europe will have him, and you know what I'm saying, and all this rubbish, and he's not talented, and he should apologize. Made the right move to me. Even if they lose the final, made the right move. His stocks are now back up. And if Ten Hag is still here next summer, he gets his move to Dortmund. But even with a new manager, he might decide to go back to Dortmund. Why not? Why not? For all parties involved, I think it's best, like in regards to this season. Salute to him. That's why, Lord, the lesson to be learned from that is stand on your principles, people. Don't just apologize because people are trying to, convince you to apologize because it's the boss. Fuck all that. Fuck all of that. And people were legit trying to say that. Oh, he needs to apologize because it's the manager and he's not a team player and all that. Nah, look out for oneself, man. The manager's not out for you. Don't be out for the manager. The manager weren't looking out for him. Manager was not looking out for him in the slightest. And you see him now playing well. He was good today. He was better in the first leg. But I'm just over the moon for him. Over the moon for him to be into a Champions League final. Over the moon. Salute to Jadon Sancho. I love it. Warrior J says, flawless today. Apparently Nottingham Forest points deduction appeal was unsuccessful. I want to ask, who would you get relegated, Forest, Burnley, or Luton? I'm not really fussed. Luton do have entertaining matches, though. Every time I've watched a Luton game, I've been thoroughly entertained. They are, for the neutral, phenomenal. They're one of the best teams to watch in the Premier League because they legit have the you score 3, we'll score 4 attitude. Love that. And it's not great if you're a Luton fan. It's probably not great from a neutral perspective and just for sheer entertainment. That's fantastic. Burnley, I'm not really fussed about. Forest, I do like some of their attackers. I do like. I think they got they. You know what? They're another team who are entertaining to watch. They go for it. They are entertaining to watch. I've never watched the Forest game and been like, all right, this is dull. This is boring. So yeah. AJB says Sancho should be in the England squad this summer. He's putting himself in the conversation. He is putting himself in the conversation. Russell said Dortmund said they will do everything to get Sancho. Fabrizio said this as well. All right, facts. AW says, I've actually seen comments on the Sancho's tweet even today, apologize and come back. Like I said, trying to tell a grown man what to do. Never. I would never tell a grown man who feels that he's not in the wrong to apologize. If you don't feel you're in the wrong in the situation, all right, first, I ain't gonna tell you to apologize. Especially when I know when we know the situation. And I said this before and I say this again, I would have acted the exact same way Jadon Sancho did. The exact same way. I would have done exactly what Jadon Sancho did. And I've done that, obviously never on a scale of being a Manchester United footballer, but I've had arguments with bosses at jobs before. I've said this. Just because you're the boss does not mean you are going to talk to me any way you want to. And that doesn't mean you can treat me any way you want to. I've had issues with team leaders. I've had arguments with bosses. I've had an argument with the owner of the whole company. I don't care. You are not going to talk to me any type of way because you are above me in regards to position in the company. No. And that's what happened with the Jadon Sancho situation. Don't mention his name. Like I said, Ten Hag opened up a can of worms that did not need to be opened up. He didn't need to say anything about that situation. No, not even about that situation, about Jadon Sancho. Even if he was right, you've made it a public thing. Now this will be a thing forever. Like, it's so unnecessary. And like I said, I couldn't be happier for him. People might ask, like, oh, flawless, you're a Manchester United fan. Like, don't you feel disrespected by Jadon Sancho? Absolutely not. I do not feel disrespected by Jadon Sancho because I would have done the exact same thing. I know what my character's like. I would have done the exact same thing. So again, over the moon that he's in the Champions League final. And if he wins it, I'll be even happier for him if he wins it. That's my profile picture. If he wins it, that's my profile picture. Posting that on the gram as well. Salute that man, because the criticism he received from that one situation was over the top. Yeah, one situation happened where people disagreed with what he did, and then he was labeled. He was labeled everything bad that you could think of at that point. One situation, One moment, and then everything else that had happened in his career did not matter. Unprofessional, bad trainer, bad attitude, needs to be sold, won't be successful anywhere else. No other top team in Europe is going to have him. All of one, this was not the conversation beforehand. But one scenario, that's like me having one argument on here, and then I get labeled, oh, Flawless is aggressive, never lets anyone else talk, he was out of order, his channel should be shut down, no other content creators should work with him. One incident, not repeated behavior, one incident. And it's kind of like that with players on the pitch, where a player performs poorly in a game and he needs to be sold, and it's a wrap for him and he's terrible. The same way if a player plays well for a couple games, give him the keys to the city. That's what it is. Big up Prime in the cut though. Yes, Prime. What you saying, man? You good? Yo, you there?
Yeah.
You good, yeah?
I'm good.
Yeah, man. Bless up. You already know. To Brussels, who says, do you think Mbappe will have nightmares about Hummels tonight? About just his entire performance over the 2 legs? I'm an Mbappe fan. Huge fan of Mbappe. Dreadful today. Worse in the first leg, but hey, you need your team to step up, and he didn't step up. And I'm someone who's very critical of the better players, and you have to step up in those moments. It's a Champions League semi-final and against Dortmund. Raise your game and take your team over the top. Like I say, Euros, I'm looking at you. Euros, you got to deliver that trophy for France. To me, you're, if not arguably the best team there, you're top 2, top 3. And I think you're the best player at the tournament. So that's what I'm to deliver. And I'm always on that. And I'm a big Mbappe fan, huge Mbappe fan, but poor today, poor in the first leg, poor in both legs in the quarterfinal against Barcelona as well. What are you saying, Prime?
Listen, man, I was watching the second leg on Lucia's channel. We had a brilliant watch along. Slander Central. Mbappe.
Talk about
Mbappe. On the international stage, you've delivered a World Cup, and you have got to a World Cup final where you dropped a hat-trick. Even though you lost, your stocks rose. So fair enough. But on the club's stage, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I've been saying for years you need to leave PSG. If we're talking about you being, you could potentially be part of, the greats to ever play the game, and you're the heir to this throne of Mbappe or this throne of Messi or Ronaldo for the Ballon d'Ors and stuff, you need to start showing it in these games. And I get it, everyone can have an off night, but you're supposed to be the guy where you can have an off night, but turn off for 15 minutes and win the game. You didn't do that. And fine, we can say that PSG as a club, they're run shambolically, and we can have all these excuses, but you were given the keys to the club last summer. Players were brought in that you wanted.
Yep.
And it still hasn't worked out.
Facts.
You cannot put in these performances at Real Madrid. I'm sorry. The way you performed in that first leg, you don't get away with that at Real Madrid. Do you know?
Facts.
Criticism is different. You're meant to be the best player in the world. You're going to Real Madrid. You can't do this. You cannot. And yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. As much as I was like, I kept slandering and making fun of him, I was just still waiting for him to do something and take the game into that wouldn't have taken the extra time, but I was waiting for him to do something, win the game for PSG.
Same.
And
I'm there watching. I agree.
And now there's more pressure on you because I don't think is it necessarily fair to expect France to go and win these Euros.
Yes.
Not per se, maybe not per se. However, France do have, you could top two, maybe the best squad going into it.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you agree he's the best player? You believe he's the best player there?
Yes.
Okay. So he's the best player there, and you believe they're
yes.
top? Do you believe they're top two teams there, or top three?
Yeah.
Do you have them top three, top two?
You have to go. Yeah. So you have to minimum get to the semi-final and put in the game of your life.
Yeah, if you lose, it has to be like the World Cup final.
Yeah.
Or if you lose the semi-final, it has to be like that.
And don't let Real Madrid win the Champions League this year, because that'll be a treble. You go into Real Madrid after they've won every trophy. If you don't match that in your first year, people will automatically say you've made Real Madrid worse. Whether that's a fair narrative to have, people will run with that. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, big pressure, big stage, big expectations.
Yes, agreed. Agreed. Like that's what it is big expectations, and I can't hype you up and say this, that, and the third about you and say you're this, you're that. And don't get me wrong, I still rate Mbappe highly. Mbappe's still a bad boy baller. I'd love to see him at Manchester United, but you have to deliver. And if you go back and check the World Cup watching on that, it's still on the channel. I was critical of him until he turned up then. We can't give you all these accolades and say all these great things about you and then don't deliver in big moments. That's why when Prime asked the question, is it unfair to expect him to deliver in the tournament? No. I think you're the best player at the tournament and you're in top two team. Minimum, you're the second best team there. Worst case scenario, 3. There's someone in the chat who will know more about the international teams than me, but I've not heard anyone say they're not at least number 3. So you're the best player there and you're at least the third best team there. Deliver. Hey, big up Gel Cell as well. Every time.
Maybe you can say squad-wise, France are like, maybe squad-wise you can say they're kind of equal to Portugal, maybe that's just my bias towards Portugal speaking. But in terms of like Mbappe, like Portugal don't have a player like him. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Who do you think like will win the Ballon d'Or?
I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Ryan's in the building as well. What are you saying, fam? You good?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Fuck, so I'm leaving, man.
Yeah, go on, Prime. So you saying?
I'm joking. No, who do you think will win the Ballon? Like, I think it's like contingent on who wins the Champions League,
yeah,
and who wins the Euros, and you also have Copa America. Like, it's interesting.
Well, yeah, that's right. I trust for real. Exactly what you're saying. To Thomas B, Sanchez is not a Premier League player. This is the truth about a lot of players. He had plenty of chances beyond his last incident. Why do we still defend him? My question to you is, who defended him, Thomas B? That's Sanchez? All I want to know. Who did? Wait, I presume he's talking about Sancho. I'm guessing. If I'm not, if you're talking about someone
Sanchez,
else, if correct me if I'm wrong, Thomas B. You might be saying about someone else. But if it's Sancho, who defended him, and if it's Sanchez, which Sanchez? Who's Sanchez? Let us know.
If we're talking about Sancho, like,
even before we get into it, I want to know who defended him. That's what I want to know. That PSG's front, Dembele is, he's terrible. Ramos, well, I'm not going to say it's terrible, but he was bad today. Kolo Muani, who came off the bench, I think, was it the header?
Nah, Ramos is terrible.
It is?
I can't even lie to you.
You can say that. I'm saying I don't watch him like that, so I can't say.
Every time I watch him,
I don't watch him often enough to be like that.
Lie.
People got gassed because he scored 4 goals at the World Cup.
Yeah,
bro, people got gassed.
He's not good. Even his, like I said, his World Cup hype was one game. Like what we're doing here, like it was one game against Switzerland.
It's because they dropped Ronaldo. He played. He bagged the hat trick. All of a sudden, Ramos is the next. Nah, man, he's not. He's meaty.
But then, what did he do in the next game against Morocco? Was it? No, it was Morocco, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sure, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah. He's asked.
I am interested to see how Real Madrid line up next season.
I reckon
Because
Mbappe comes striker.
I don't know how a front three of Rodrigo, Mbappe, and Mini work as a
I
balance.
don't know.
Hey, you just got to find a way to make it work,
But
bro.
you know what? They have the perfect guy to figure that out.
Yeah, that's actually
Ancelotti's the
true.
type. He's the guy. It don't make sense. I agree with you, Prime. It don't make sense on paper. It don't make sense. But so I'm gonna figure it out.
We can't keep expecting Don Carlo to just do magic on everything and making it work. We can't keep expecting.
Yeah, I can. You can.
Yeah, I can. I can. Of course I can. He's been managing at the top level longer than you've been alive, Prime. Of course I can. How old are you?
20. I'm 26 this year.
Okay, so pretty much then, since you was a baby, he's been managing at the highest level.
Yeah.
So he was a kid when he won his first champs. So yeah, pretty much I kind of expect.
Bro, Carlo will find a way, bro. Like, let's just be real.
Yeah, and if he don't, we'll be critical.
Mm.
If he don't, well, that don't take away from his legacy. Like he already goated. You know what I'm saying? Nah, Thomas B, but that's so you were talking about Sancho. Now we presume that. I want to know what you mean by defense. Who was defending him? Where is the defense of him? That's what I want to know. Let's have if we're gonna have the conversation, let's have the conversation. Who was defending him and what was the defense of him? How did Vitinha go under the radar at Wolves? Thought he was PSG's best player. He was quality today.
Yeah, he was really good.
That's the best. I've watched him play a few times. That was the best I've seen him was today. The way he was driving with the ball, his passing, his decision making when passing, the weight of pass was correct as well. He looked the most likely. He also hit the bar as well. What are you saying,
He
Jez?
was so unlucky with that shot.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. What are you guys saying?
Oh, bless him. Oh, bless. Before we continue, over 50 people in there, only at 26 likes. Like check 1212. Let's get up to 50 likes, people. Hit the like button expeditiously. Continue to get your questions in. Of course, if you're a member of the channel, like Andy, and then I will your questions take priority, like super chat people. And of course, if you super chat, we'll get straight to it as well, people. Let's see what's what. Yes, like AJB said, please like the stream. If you've not already, it really helps Flawless out. Hey, AJB, absolute real one as well. But yeah, thoughts on today. No, I know your guest, Jez, because Dortmund through. Thoughts on the second leg in particular.
I'll be honest, I was a bit nervous in the second leg because I was like, you know what, home games, I'm confident. I predicted a win at home. But this game, I can't lie, I was like, you know what, this is gonna be one of them ones, Park the Prince or whatever they call it. More like Dortmund Stadium, 0.2. But the comfy, bro, comfy. I didn't like. This is probably the best. Like under Terzic tenure at the football club. This was easily the best defensive performance I have seen. Like obviously, and a lot of people say stuff like the man of the match was the post and the bar today and all these things and things like that. But which partly is true, but in the same time, it's like PSG just generally couldn't get into the box. The only time they got into the box when Mbappe and Ramos had these two shots. You're talking about two shots, man. Other than that, everything just had to come from everything had
a
to
lot
come
just
from
came
outside
from
the box.
long range, didn't it? Like, and when you limit them to long range shots, you can do the job defensively.
And for me, it's like I look at these things and say, you know what? I say it all the time. Like for these cup competition, sometimes there's nothing wrong about riding your luck, in my opinion. And it benefited us. It benefited us because I feel like if we would have played to the things where we let them get into the box and stuff like that, it would have definitely hurt us. And in the first leg, they were getting a lot of opportunities where they're getting them in behind the defensive line. But this time, we didn't need to go and win the game. We didn't need to actually go and win the game at this leg because we already up 1-0. But what I like, the fact that I was talking about is the fact is that you keep them compact and you just counter attack. You saw Sancho did a really good job today. I feel like he wasn't as great as the first leg, but he had to do what he had to do, which is make sure he doesn't lose the ball when he gets the ball, holds up the ball when he has to hold it up, gets past his opponent when he has to get past the opponents. Like there was a couple of times when he burned Mensch, but obviously he hasn't has the pace. But this is what we needed him to do, and he did the job. Adeyemi with the pace. It's all what happened. Caused headaches. And all as I say, like sometimes you can just do the basics, and the basics will literally help you win the football match. And full crook holding up the ball, winning the headers. Obviously, he didn't get a shot today. I don't even think he had a shot today, but this was not necessary. It wasn't necessary today because everybody did their job. Defense, Hummels. I keep talking about it. The way people hype up some of these other players from the other teams, and I get it. Dortmund is not necessarily the biggest club in people's eyes these days in the modern day right now. But it's not like Dortmund has like guys who've just never been in these situations. And Hummels, I think, has been so much better. But then I'm seeing guys like Marquinhos getting into the semi-final team of the year, but UCL semi-final team of the season. And I'm like, what? How? Hummels been fantastic in the Champions League. I criticized him in the league, but he's been fantastic in the Champions League. Same with Nico Schlotterbeck. Big fun. And I think one thing I realized is since Nagelsmann didn't call these guys up, because I think he only called up Fulco in the last international break, so no German Dortmund player got into the team. And ever since, a lot of these guys perform. Because it's a Euros coming up, we need to perform. So it just suits everything. And yeah, got the goal from the corner. Hummels makes it 2-0 and on aggregate. And yeah, I was kind of nervous with these subs. I was really angry, kind of like at the moment when Chelsea made those subs so early. But hey, it worked out. And I said, let me wait till full time. And I waited till full time. It worked out. So I have to give him credit for. I have to give him credit, man. And it's been an overachievement. Obviously, now it's kind of like, I just don't want to be a thing now where we go to the final and be like, we didn't expect to be here. Let's enjoy the final. It's like kind of like, if I'm doing wrong, go for it, man. Shit, like you've been going through it all Champions League. You might as well. I don't want to be in a situation where you're getting caught by the occasion, man. Like Tottenham, for example, in the 2019 Champions League final was Liverpool, where I think they got like you saw. Like I think you saw it's funny the parallels when I look at like them Tottenham, like, and I get it with Tottenham because it was very traumatic ending. Well, Dortmund, they kind of knew they're just gonna go to the final. The way PSG just didn't look like ever looking like scoring, other than the post hits from the long range shots.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys didn't look like too emotional. Like they're happy they're going to the final, but it didn't look like, oh my god, we going to the Champions League final. Well, but Tottenham, like you saw Pochettino literally going on his knees, man, crying, and players obviously on the field crying or praying or that. And I'm not saying it's wrong for the Tottenham players because I was also shell shocked, but it's kind of like I feel like Dortmund can surprise some people in the Champions League final. I feel like they could really go there and be like, you know what, they look like a team that deserve to be in the final and showing that we didn't get here by a fluke. Obviously, this could have me back crazy, but I'm just saying, from Basel, just the fact that I've seen two teams making the final in the UCL final and who are closely followed for so many years. Yeah, just crazy. If you told me last season after the way people were going at me for that last day in the Bundesliga, bro, every group chat was going after me, bro. I couldn't believe it.
No, you deserve it though.
I'm just saying, man. I'll say it, but hey, and no one in the UCL final, man.
Hey, and you know what? Enjoy, fam. Like being in the Champions League final is fantastic. Trust me.
100%,
you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it.
I was saying now. Actually, you know what? Shout out to Chelsea Football Club. Ian Mutson changed his football this season drastically at left back position, bro. Bro. I'm telling you, obviously Sancho has played a big part to it as well. But Ian Mutson, bro, because we would have played Benson and Neby, and bro. That guy's not that good, man. That guy's not that good.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to say it's not Chelsea, it's Poch. But speak on how great
Chelsea approved it though. Chelsea approved it, so
Chelsea. Speak on how great Matten has been, how brilliant he's been defensively. Speak on it.
One thing I've been really surprised at is the fact that actually how good he is at defending back post for being that small. Like he's actually he barely gets called out of it, and sometimes
say that again. Repeat that again.
He's good at defending at the back post. Really good. It just surprised me.
Okay, we're gonna clip that up and send that to Poch. Continue.
Yeah, but now it's been
carry on. Hey, Lex, if you want the link, let me know as well. Shout out, Lex.
Yeah, I keep saying that, man. Like, you have to pay the release clause, bro. Like, you made so much money just even making to the semi-final. You make even if you lose the final, the fact you still make bare money off this right now. You have to pay the release clause, man. You have to pay the release clause. I don't know about the Sancho situation. I don't know the United situation. There's something that probably you have to wait. It doesn't really help Dortmund because United can look at it and say, let's be shameless. try to get as much money as possible, which makes sense. But if there's going to be a player that's unhappy at the football club, you don't want another situation that the guy's just crumping and then just going to be there another 6 months just waiting for a loan move or some shit. Like, so I don't know. It's going to be the Sancho one is interesting, but the Mats one is straightforward. The father said Chelsea's all about money now these days, and he wants to come back to Dortmund. So you have to just pay the release clause and just make it happen. And yeah, man, Champions League final coming up. Me personally, I want to see Real Madrid. I don't want a Clasico final. Even though Bayern will be the easier team to play, I just don't want a derby in the final, man. Again.
Hey, run me. Hey, I'm with that, man. Madrid or Dortmund, either way, I'm good, man.
Yeah,
I don't want Bayern to win it. I'm like,
go on. Why go on? Why don't you want Bayern to win it? Go on.
Oh, because they go above us in Champions Leagues because we're both in 6. I don't want them going above us.
Champions League.
Yeah, but us and Bayern both have 6, so I don't want them going above us. Real Madrid are already light years ahead of anyone. No one's ever overtaken them.
Real Madrid 14 there now, yeah? Or was it 13?
Yeah, so like no one's ever overtaken them. So like, yeah, just anyone but Bayern in it. The way I see it now.
And Dortmund got 1, Bayern got 6,
obviously.
Real Madrid 14. Right, first.
And one thing I do have to say,
thank you. I didn't have a horse in the race for Bayern, but now because of that, thank you, Ryan. Now I've got one. Yeah, go on, just.
I'm always like no Bayern, no AC Milan, and no Barcelona. In terms of European sides, obviously, I'd rather them over any other English sides, obviously. But in terms of European sides, they're the 3 that I don't want to win it. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, all I really have to want to say is that shout out to actually Vitinha, man. I know you guys just talked about him. That was easily the best game I have seen in it. I watched it, even Uber Eats. I watched him. That must be easily the best game we have in a PSG shirt for sure. And looked like the only guy who actually realized it was a Champions League final to play for. Nobody else in the PSG team looked like they knew that a final is on the line. So shout out to him.
I thought the second half they picked it up. I thought second half but I get your point. Like I've only watched him a handful of times, but he impressed me. He did. I was like, yeah. Like you played. We all wanted a few players. You was the only attacking player that looked decent. You was the only attacking player that looked like doing anything of note. Because the front 3 were dreadful. Emery was average. Ruiz was okay. Hakimi had seen so much of the ball throughout the game. And
he
was woeful. You could argue he was the worst player. The fullback, he was the worst player for them. Because you got plenty. I don't know what it is, but I guarantee if you check the touches, he's probably high on that list in regards for PSG, like who had the most touches on the ball. It was crazy. It's every time. Yeah, it was shocking, Warrior J. Like not one good cross. One good cross.
The first touches was awful. Like defensively, I don't think he was even that great. Like Adeyemi was getting a lot of joy on that left hand side when the ball came to him. Crosses were awful, like you said. Can't even shoot. I've been saying this, man. This Hakimi, like certain dude, like no disrespect to Davis this season, and not disrespect to Davis. I rate Davis as a fullback, but I think he's been woeful this season, personally. And I think I think his name carries into why he's getting into certain conversations this season. Me personally, I think there's a lot of left backs just in the Champions League alone who I think has been better than this season. Him and Hakimi is one of them as well, in my opinion. But I feel like his name carries him over the actual performances.
Oh, first, yeah, Lex, what you saying, fam? You good?
Yeah, man, we're there.
Yeah, man. Carb thoughts. I don't know if you watched today, but yeah, thoughts on the PSG Dortmund game.
I never really watch it because I was so busy at work, but I still like the result and thing. I mean, vindication for Sancho, is it?
100%, man. You know what I'm saying? Without doubt. I love it.
Yeah. Big time still because, all right, one of the things, sometimes football just have to win, you understand? Amongst the propaganda and all of the fakes and all of the punks and all of the waste, man, them like sometimes the truth just have to prevail, is it?
Yeah.
So it's a good side for see when real football brains actually make it somewhere and the fake man them just a lose 4-0, is it? Just imagine. This man get kicked out because of the standards and him in a Champions League final, but
say it louder for the people in the back, man.
Yeah, get touched 4-0 by flipping
exactly.
Crystal Palace. And then what the biggest problem is, a lot of the results that actually put you man in the spot that you are in right now in European contention has nothing to really do with your actual performances. One could argue that you don't even deserve to be where you are. You get
It's not even an argument. The performances don't match our results. That's why people are. I'm still shocked that people are shocked by that result, and people have been shocked by previous results. Because I'm like, a lot of people are not watching us. I think because it was a Monday game and there was no other game, and everyone's just watching us. People don't realize, you know what I'm saying, and that like how bad we are. Too much performance based. That performance is nothing new.
Yeah.
I've been saying this for the longest. We perform like that week in, week out. It's just that we might not necessarily lose 4-0. We might draw. We might get a win. We might lose 2-1. And someone might look at the score and go, "Oh, it's not that bad." No, it is. It is that bad. Like someone said to me, it was like, "United have done out. Where you been?"
It's been done, and that is the thing. It's like I don't think a lot of these football fans actually watch football. They just look at the results and say, "Oh well, United played well today because they won." You get what I say? They don't actually watch the games. I've watched too many Manchester United games. I really should not be doing this. It's like I'm smoking crack. It's not good for me. It's not even addictive. I don't even know why I tune in. It's worse than crack.
You know why you tune in? Because you're a petty individual.
You get what I say? Huh?
You're a petty individual. That's why you tune in.
Bro, listen. It is so horrendous.
It's so bad. You know what I'm saying? Bro, hey Lex, is that bad? Even Marcel's turned. That's how bad it is.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. Look at the shot. Yeah. Even
Marcel goes into go on Marcel's Twitter, man. Go on Twitter.
Go to his Twitter, man. He posted a picture of Tuchel.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You are fucking lying. Ain't no way.
Yeah, but by the way, Will Lex is looking at it, man.
Like the last of the flipping bunch.
Bro, yesterday's game.
Because I find his take so repulsive that I cannot associate myself.
Yeah. He posted a picture.
I need to say this. What's his name? Marcel.
I don't remember his name. And I've seen just blessed for posting that. Hakimi had the most touches with 123. Second and third highest was 111 and 108 from. See, and that's me just watching the game, people. And I ain't no stats guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not locked in like that. And even I was like, Hakimi had a lot of the ball. I had a lot of the ball. A lot. So it's not a surprise to hear that. Now, man, we start live telling you, Ben.
Bro, I have no idea.
Marcel has been so much with the 10 thing. People can't believe it. I'll be honest. If I haven't seen the tweet, I wouldn't have believed it either.
Yeah. Like he did. Like Jess sent it to me. I was like you, Lex. I was like, nah, he didn't. And Jess was like, I'll drop you the tweet right now. I'll send you the tweet. Let me find it. But yeah, he posted a picture of Tuchel with 3-4-3. Even Marcel turned. That's how you know it's bad. It took him to game.
That's how you know it's bad. But this is the problem that I have. How are you just turning no? How are you just turning no? Do you have so is it a case where these people have so much of a heart that they're willing to sacrifice their emotional integrity to facilitate fuckery, blood?
Yeah.
Like serious thing. Because look, I can understand if you wanted to give him a chance after a certain point. You get what I say? But bro, every time you man just get absolutely shit on.
I just DM'd it to you now. You'll see it right there.
Where? On Twitter?
On Twitter, yeah. I just DM'd you right now. Big up to Eli as well. Says Mbappe, best player in the world for you, man. Still, yes. But it's not a non-negotiable and it's not a non-argument.
Hold on.
Go on.
You believe Mbappe is the best player in the world?
Yeah, I think he's the best player in the world, yeah. I thought that for
the
past
you do know we can consider like holding midfielders and other players good players.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We can have the conversation about
that's the point that I was making. I believe it's a negotiable. It's a debate to be had now. Of course you can consider DMs.
What constitutes someone being the best player in the world?
I think a multiple of things. Impact, first and foremost.
Yeah, how far you make it.
Individuals impact on your team, individual from an individual standpoint, how you impact on a team standpoint. Trophies matter.
Consistency,
games matter. Consistency matters. There's a multitude of things. That's why I'm saying it's a debate, because I've not thought about it since I said Mbappe. But I'm like,
I have to repost this. I'll follow him just for the fuck.
This guy. Who you in the chat? Hey, Eli, let me know. Who do you think the best player in the world is? And
this man has a 3-4-3 without flipping. Oh my days.
For me, it's an interesting conversation. The best player, like, because I can't but for me, I think there's not a complete standard. You see, that's what I'm saying. We've been spoiled by Messi and Ronaldo for the last few years, and even the players even behind them. Well, we can say even if these two weren't at the best, you have Neymar, you have Benzema. It was too easy. It was too easy for us to go on City and say who's the best player. No, I'm looking at the football. I'm like, obviously, there's players that we still put forward, like Mbappe. Haaland has been
I think saying certain players that are the best in the world, sometimes when you give the answer, it's just to give the answer. Sometimes you get a bit lazy with the answer. You get me? Because you say, all right, Mbappe at this point in time, pretty much is the most dynamic, is the most this, is the most that, what have you. Then you'll say, all right, yeah, just give it to Mbappe because it's Mbappe, right? He'll probably win the Ballon d'Or or some shit, right? Or people say that when Bellingham had a run of games where he's just scoring a lot of goals, people say, oh, he's the best player. But fundamentally speaking, like when you think about football from a certain perspective, I think in order to be qualified as the best player in the world, you have to cover certain boxes for me. And I think at most points, especially recently, there's just not a best player in the world. I think the position has been vacated because these men are so fucking shit.
There's no king that's been crowned.
Definitively, like no one can stand out. So therefore, if you cannot give one person the crown is just vacant. Sometimes the king just isn't there. Sometimes a manager is an interim manager, and for the time being, then someone else come and take the crown. But
I feel we were just like kind of thinking with Messi and Ronaldo for so many years, just playing just miles above everyone else, that anything below them just seems so much of a downgrade and so much worse now, in my opinion. That's what it is.
But even then, like you had to.
I wouldn't say that.
But then, because the thing is, you had them seasons where like
you had
Neymar, you had Benzema seasons, you had the Neymar seasons, you had Karamoto seasons too. It was easy. Like right now, I'm looking at it like people are not comfortable putting. Like for me, people are not comfortable putting Mbappe as the best player. People are not comfortable putting Haaland or Jude or whoever. Obviously, that's why. For example, that's why you see. That's what I say. Like for me, like currently, if somebody's talking right now, Rodri's the best player in the world. I'm not really going to sit here and say complain. No. That's what I'm trying to say. This is currently the way I currently stand. I currently don't view anybody because, like, I talk about the longest. I think Mbappe's club career, especially the last 3 years, I'm kind of looking at him funny, bro. I'll be honest. I'll be funny, bro.
His club career, for the most part, I look at it funny. Why doesn't anyone mention Vinicius in these conversations?
I'll be honest with you. Even if you were to approach that argument, I could argue that Rodrigo has been fundamentally better than him. Like
no, Rodrigo, I can hear.
But for a good period of time.
Rodrigo did go through a spell where he wasn't great.
When people talk about Mbappe, Vinny has like
done better than
him doing in big games, in Champions League. That's just me. That matters Mbappe.
Yeah, and he actually helped. Even though people view it as a sidekick, he still helped Madrid win that Champions League. He wasn't. He didn't help him.
100%.
And for me, that's why I say, like, for me, the issues in football is that I don't look at somebody as a standout best player in the world, or you're the second best player in the world. I think I think this is so much of a debate. Obviously, for some people, the criteria is different. Some people look at somebody's footballing ability. So somebody who's actually having an amazing year can never be for somebody number one because they don't rate him as a footballer, which is okay. I get it. It's a criteria that you view it. I have a criteria of where I put everything together. I do care about your ability to a degree, but I care about the consistency and how high you perform. That's why I say Vinny in that year when Benzema helped them won the Ballon d'Or, for example. Vinny was up there.
So let's look at it now.
Because Vinny's been very good for the past since the whole he's playing against us. He's been consistently very, very good.
Yeah, but the thing is, in this argument, you cannot just forget Rodri.
No. There's no forgetting.
That's what I mentioned.
This is my point. It's like in this situation, you usually tend to prefer attackers, right? Because obviously in this conversation, attackers tend to have the most visible impact. Like the most tangible impact on a game, you usually attribute it to attackers because they provide assists and goals, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if one of the best teams in the world cannot perform at their best level without one particular player in their system, for me, hands down, I have to attribute that to Rodri. At this
For me, I think Rodri
point in
does have
time,
the biggest impact on any team in world football.
You
I'll
get
be
me?
honest with you.
I'm
I'm not even debating against it. I agree.
If we're talking about impact in world football, Antonio Rudiger. Do you know how injury-ridden Real Madrid have been this season?
No, they have been. But when you take Rodri out that team, man.
They don't have their starting goal.
But then we have to, go on, Prime. Go on, Lance.
The defense has been, in terms of like their center backs, has been basically decimated. They've had to use Nacho in there. Tchouameni has had to play center backs at time, and yet they've only lost one game all season. Like they are immense.
They've only lost one game this season.
Also, too. Now that you bring this up, we have to then draw flipping Leverkusen players into this freaking mode because these men haven't lost a game all season. Yeah. These men are about to win like a flipping treble. Undefeated.
Does it not take more than one season? To me, I need more than one season before.
No, but it just depends on the span of time. So we can have that conversation like as to who's the best player currently, like for the past 3 months, past 6 months. You get me?
See, I would have that because that's more fun, but I would also credentially for 2-3 years.
By the way,
so we're speaking somewhat of like a Ballon d'Or conversation type thing, right?
I get you.
Actually, let Brian run because he's trying to say something.
Ballon d'Or is for, by the way. I've been telling people this for the past few years. It's not about, because if we're saying the best player, then Messi wins it. But it's who's had the best season or the best calendar year. That's the player that wins the ball. That's why I was telling people Haaland should get it, because he has had the best year of what he's won and achieved. And its impact.
But I think this is what I say.
I mean, Rodri could have had it, but I was making that.
Rodri definitely would have been in the conversation. That's why I find that's why I don't really like to go based off the Ballon d'Or, because the Ballon d'Or, we already know how rigged, how fan based this is, like how player narrative, bro. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying how narrative based is. That's what I'm saying. My issue.
And have or kind of Ballon d'Or conversation.
Don't get to it. We can't ignore the narratives, but let's be honest. Messi winning the Ballon d'Or was fake as fuck. I'm just trying to say.
Yes, I know.
That's why. Prime. I'm not saying I don't disagree with you. I'm saying that's why, for me, that's why I kind of make this overall point of saying that football just don't have a definitive. You are the best player in the world that everybody can agree on that. This is currently how I believe how football is currently.
That's why we should go on form then, right?
I don't know, like, bro. Everybody even have, and then we're gonna find people.
We can have both conversations, to be honest. We can literally separate them and separate the year and then say on form, like, serious.
Now we definitely could, but then somebody in the chat randomly comes, how can you say this guy? How is it possible? All I was saying, that I'm like, yo, just like everybody contributes so different at times with this, but I don't know, man. It's
everyone's different. No one clarifies what the discussion is.
I agree, man. I agree, because I don't know generally what people's view of how they view football. Because one guy will tell you about the ability, one body will tell you about the consistency.
All right, we can segregate them then. We can put it who has been the most consistent, who currently has the best ability, who is essentially on the best form. We can have many different conversations and actually have an open discussion and then attribute different players to different sections. You get me? Yeah. But in my opinion, if I was to go to the point of consistency, to the point of the MVP of the team, to the point of if this guy's not in the team doesn't function properly, to the point of fundamentally secure, still a aesthetically pleasing footballer to watch, a footballer that can just take the game by the scruff of the neck and win it, even though he plays in the depth of midfield. That is the reason I would give it to Roger. A lot of people would say Mbappe, but I mean, I mean, Haaland. But the thing about it is, take Roger out that team, Haaland probably scores less goals. You get what I say?
Could we say the same then if we're talking about players in midfield for Modric, who has been consistently fantastic for Madrid for however many years, and also delivered on the international stage as well?
For right now,
I think
for right now, like Modric, I think if you take him, I think he's won
over the 3 year span, yes, but because of his decreased role in the Madrid team right now, I think because they're transitioning the midfield, I wouldn't necessarily put that on him right now.
Okay,
but I would like before this season, so to speak, because of the roles that he had played before. You get me?
You know, that's crazy.
Huh?
Did he retire from international football, or is he going? Is he still playing for Croatia?
Who's that? No, he's still playing. He's gonna play. He's gonna play in the Euros. Okay. I think it's gonna be his last tournament, though. I think it's gonna be his last tournament.
He's delivered. Because I'm looking here now. Well, he's played 29 matches for them in the league.
Yeah, he's played. But the thing, he has played. But the thing, he has made a lot of bench appearances.
But he played 41 games in total. Obviously, I don't be watching the league or whatever. I was just throwing him in the mix because I look at him in that same man. Don't get mistaken, Rodri's top quality.
No. The reason I'd say Rodri at this point in time, as I said, if we were taking over a 3 year span, I'd probably give the edge to Modric. Okay. But if I were to take last season combined with this season and the impact that he has had on the team, I'd just give the edge to him. But if you took like another year back and then added it to this, then it's definitely Modric for me. Anyways.
Okay. Does it change if they win the Champions League and Croatia do well or win the Euros?
If Madrid
I don't think it's gonna be.
It depends on his role. That's it. If he was
let's say he plays a key role in both.
You mean like when them did cook?
Yes.
No, England, but it's too late.
I'm just asking.
Because he would have had to play he would have had to be in the run up of games right now. You get what I say? It's just like the season when Benz. And so the man them did beat City, and them thing. But Modric was doing madness. You get what I say? So it's just a case where
I'm just trying to get his numbers up. It's a good conversation. That's why I'm asking questions.
Yeah, right. It is a good conversation.
Wait, he's the cousin.
Especially when you have level-headed people having the conversation.
Yeah,
not a bunch of flipping Twitter trolls, fam.
Is he? I didn't know this. They're saying he's the cousin of Mark Viduka. I had no idea. How the hell did that come about?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. I'll be honest. I don't even know who Mark Viduka is. I'll be honest.
Oh, Mark Viduka's
family ties, is it?
Yeah, it must be through.
Shout out Kendrick.
Who was he?
Mark Viduka, he played for quality striker. He used to play for Leeds. Played for a couple of teams. Bad boy, Mark Viduka, bad boy. Scored a goal. Oh, this is years ago, early 2000s. He scored a goal.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that.
Them name they would have come in like a Ludovic Julie and them Monday.
Basically, Jess, he scored when Leeds helped United win the league title. He scored the winner at Highbury. In like 0-2 or something like that. Cruyff turned, bam, left foot at Highbury and United ended up winning the league. So salute to him for that. You know what I'm saying? And that real one. But yeah, bad boy, like technically bad boy striker. I'm trying to actually get his numbers now.
Yeah, when last you even see a bad boy striker, blood? I'll just be running behind merchants, fam. It's so fucking annoying, my G.
It's athletes.
Oh my God.
But Flores keep saying, like, it's just the way the game is going, Corey.
It's the way the game is going.
That's why Mateta just look like a breath of fresh air right now, my G.
Mateta said, I'm going bold. Mateta said, I'm going bold.
And to be honest, before they got the new manager, this man was shit. And this man got a new manager, and that is why I don't like certain conversations people tend to have. It's like, bro, how can you agree that the United manager is shit, his system is shit, but then proceed to blame all the players?
Yeah, I hate you.
Give them a better system, and then you can judge them. I'm not saying to absolve them of blame, but clearly we have to understand that there are a lot of people who work in environments where their manager is an idiot.
Facts.
And they're not motivated to work for said manager because the manager is an idiot. So now take this same thought process and put it in from your daily life and put it in football. These men know that Ten Hag is an idiot. We're not the only one. They are in there. They know football better than us. If we know that he's an idiot, they know it too. They do not want to play for this guy. Cass doesn't give a fuck. None of these men care. Flipping people are blame. Oh, Johnny Evans. He failed a fitness test. He should not have been on the field.
How about?
You get what I say?
I am listening, fam. I'm literally just trying to.
So then any argument that anyone wants to have from a player perspective, just think about when you guys were playing. This is why at the start of the season I was so pissed off, because I kept saying,
talk about
if you had essentially the same core of players last season and you played a different style of football and you achieved a certain level of success, why is it that when the manager comes into the new system and absolutely changed the play style and now the players play like shit, why is it now the players' fault?
Talk about it.
Because they never changed. It's the same foot. It's the same two legs Casemiro have. It's the same brain Varane have.
Varane's playing well, but
it's the same. It's the same. It's the same Dalot. The only thing that changed was the tactics of the manager.
Yeah, I hear that.
And then the team started to look like shit, and it got progressively worse.
Well, yeah, but he came out and said they're not listening to my. I don't pay attention to his press conferences, you know, post-match interviews, and he came out and said they're not listening to me. That's what he said. So he said the players are out there doing their own thing.
No shit, Ten Hag. No shit, they're not listening to you. Look in the mirror for once. They're not listening to you because you're telling them to do shit. Because this is why you guys were actually getting results, because they were listening to him. They were trying to listen to him playing shit tactics, right? But then at some point, bro, you get tired of the shit. It's like, how many times must Mino be isolated in the midfield until Mino just be like, yo, Ten Hag, just tell Casemiro to come help me now, or tell somebody else to come help me now. Like, Ten Hag, stop tell Bruno to bomb forward and don't come back now. Ten Hag, why you playing Bruno and Mount? They leave me isolated in the midfield and then I get counter-attack. And what do you expect me to do? I'm literally 5'8". I'm good on the ball, but off the ball, I need help. I'm 18 years old. I should be in the youth team. I shouldn't even be here. And if I was here, I should be being groomed to get into the first team by solid professionals. But for some reason, it's the players. No, these men just don't give a fuck. They're down tools for certain managers that they don't want to play for. You get what I say?
Here's what I say about that before you carry on in regards to that, because I had to dispel not what you're saying, but that myth when people have said, oh, these are the same players who threw Oli under the bus and Mourinho under the bus and Van Gaal under the bus. Look at that starting lineup. That's his team. Onana is his signing. Johnny Evans is his signing. All of them. Casemiro is his signing. Mount is his signing before you go. Eriksen is his signing. Anthony is his signing. Højlund is his signing. Mano and Garnacho he brought through the youth team. Dalot he gave a new deal to. So you've signed or co-signed everybody that's out there. So that's 10 of the 11. So I don't want to hear anything when it comes to that. It's crazy.
Not just that, Flawless. I think it's the first time he played these guys together, right? Which he got to improve the team. Because him get them, I was still playing the same players that everybody calls shit year in, year out. And got rid of players like Fred and these man. I see people on Twitter today, the revisionism. These man are crying. The man them say games like these make me miss Fred. I'm like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, I seen people say that, like, this is why we shouldn't have got rid of De Gea. No, two things can be true. Onana's not good enough, but De Gea will also needed to be moved on.
Yeah, and this is the thing. This is the thing. A lot of the time people call for change. They call for change because they think that if we make a change here, they trust the people making the change to get better than what is already here. So if we're going to get rid of Fred, the new signing coming in cannot be Mason Mount, fam. It's as simple as that.
Hey, the criticism I received for saying that was a bad signing.
It's as simple as that. You could have literally split the 65 million you spent for Mason Mount, split it not two and go get two ballers who literally have legs for days. If you want from
whoa. You're wrong. It was a great signing.
Yeah.
Chelsea fan.
Chelsea, prime Chelsea
Yeah,
fan. Just
100%.
everyone in the chat watching and listening, hear how Chelsea fans talk about him. I said
No,
it
but
at the time,
Liverpool
and I say it.
would have paid for him anyway.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. I'll say it again. When we was linked with him, it was Chelsea fans putting him in a United shirt. That I've never seen that happen before. I've never seen a player, not even the bid, the first bid was not even in. A player get linked to a club, and I seen Chelsea fans doing multiple Photoshop edits and putting Mount in a United shirt. I seen him with the United shirt from the front. I seen his name on the back of the shirt with no number. I seen his name on the back of the shirt with the 7. I seen his name on the back of the shirt with the 10. I seen his name on the back of the shirt with the 19. Someone tell me, has that ever happened before? I've never seen.
How did we speak 7 into existence?
Because I was Egypt, that's why.
Take the piss,
Get him on the number 7 and ship out Sancho blood.
Bro, and it's
You
like
have an
and
actual winger.
And people criticize me for that, and I'm like, how could you not see that this makes no sense? You don't have to. I am far from a genius. I get more things wrong than I get right. How could you not see everybody and say, hey, this don't work? And you know what the craziest part about it is? Even if you think Mount is a quality baller, our team is not set up for him. Even if you think he's top quality, we play Bruno and Casemiro. That is not made for Mason Mount to come in and do his best. And even Ten Hag, as bad as he is, has realized that because he played it 2 or 3 times and we never seen it again. He's never played those two. He had Mount playing wide right. He had Bruno playing wide right before he played those because even he was like, oh, this don't work. And we're shit. Even he realized how bad the combo is. Yeah, go on, Jess.
I said it before, man. I smell something scary, bro. I'll be honest. Like, if Tuchel comes in and he goes for the 3-back formation, this sick guy might think Mount and Bruno might be the way to go because he plays the double 10. He plays the double 10. He doesn't play with wingers. He lets the wing backs.
I'd rather drink bleach. You know what I'm saying?
Don't say that. That's crazy. Bro.
Big up to Justice, who says, why do you think Chelsea, and you lot, again, members continue to get your questions in. Why do you think Chelsea is trying to buy all the South American talent they can? One of the only places in the world, the freestyle is still the way. Oh, you know what? Prime's the guy to ask for that. Prime, what do you think it is with Chelsea? Are you lot only targeting South American talent?
What we are trying to do is we're trying to find the next stars before they end up at clubs like Benfica and Brighton and whatnot, and then you have to end up spending 100 mil. So I think that's been the plan, which I guess is fine. It makes sense. I think at times they're going.
It doesn't.
Okay. I think at times they're going a bit overboard with it, but if they want to do that, fair enough. My only problem is fix the actual team first.
But you have to remember, Prime,
or squad first, good, and then you can do whatever it is you want.
The problem with Chelsea is that they're doing youth squad things in the main team. This is not how you. This is how you can. All right. So say you were scouting for a youth squad, right? This is how you do it. You try to go for the best youths and put them in the under 21s, under 23s, and then try to figure them out. Not slap them in the first team. You get what I say? So that is what I think. Yeah.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. But the players they have found coming straight into this team, Gusto, Palmer, Madueke, players like that, they've actually worked. I mean, playing well. So for me, this summer, and I think we're gonna do this. The few signings we bring in.
Madueke playing well. You sure Madueke is not like a Diaz syndrome, innit? Be your wing back, but no end product.
He's been playing as of late. As of late,
anyway,
the real question mark probably will be for somebody like Madueke is, can you do it on a consistent basis through a whole season?
Yeah. Anyway, my point being, going into the summer, the players that I only think we should make about 3 or 4 signings, and they should come in and directly impact our first 11. get me a quality striker, get me a left back, get me a left winger, and get me one of an experienced midfielder or an experienced centre back. And I think next season will be fine. And again, hopefully Poch is gone. But if he's here, then it is what it is.
Yeah,
Well, fully what you saying in regards to it, but we'll see what happens in your pursuit of players.
Also, this league is so shit that Chelsea don't have to be brilliant. Chelsea don't have to be brilliant.
The problem is though, I think the issue that you guys have, the main issue is actually finding a suitable combination with manager and players. You get me? Yeah. Because I don't think Poch is necessarily a terrible manager. I just don't think the squad is built for Poch. This is not a Poch team. Because there are certain myths that go around about Poch that I don't really think are accurate. You get me? Yes, he did well with with a young squad, but this young squad had better talent all round. You get what I say? Tottenham had Harry Kane, so even though he was a bit young, he wasn't like flipping Jackson. You get me? Mm-hmm. He had Eriksen, who was a bit more mature. He had real good footballers. Yes, he did well with Dele Alli, but he did well with Dele Alli because of the players that were around Dele Alli. Dele Alli probably wouldn't have had such an impact in a team like this with so much inexperience. You get me? Because don't forget, this man had flipping Moussa Dembele in the midfield alongside Wanyama and these man, bro. That's a solid freaking team. You cannot compare this Chelsea team to that team.
That's my big problem with Poch. He's trying to play a Dembele Wanyama midfield with Caicedo and Enzo, and it hasn't worked all season.
That's one thing I criticize.
But that is it. You can criticize Poch all you want, but Poch is just being Poch.
This is the issue. This is the issue. Like, obviously, because the thing. Exactly. Like that's the issue. I don't think it's wrong to criticize him because clearly it's something that you're trying to be you doesn't clearly work, and that's why I think it's fair to criticize Pochettino. But in the same time, this is where you should go at the people that even hire Pochettino, because you look at the two guys that you bought for the midfield, Enzo and Caicedo. Why are you bringing Pochettino? And I literally know Pochettino because he coached my coach. And I told to Chelsea fans in the summer, Pochettino with Enzo is not a good combo. The dude doesn't know how to use these guys.
Yeah.
And by the way, Jez, did I not say this on the channel when we were going for Caicedo? I said this on the channel, and I said this on Lewis's channel, that our squad building is very poor. We've signed a lot of talented players that don't fit and suit each other. The prime example is Caicedo and Enzo. Those two as a midfield does not work together.
All right, look, the thing with Caicedo and Enzo, I think if you're going to play them together, it has to be a midfield three. And it has to be a midfield three where they are 2 8s with a holding DM. They cannot have and then Enzo would be the more advanced 8, Caicedo would be a more box to box, and then the DM would be like there in the midfield, like a stay back while attacking type vibe. You get me? That's the only way I think they would work.
No, I agree with that. But you know what it is? I think the misproper attempt into thinking that Caicedo is the DM. I think that was the thought process, that he's going to be the guy doing the dirty work for.
But that's not Caicedo.
Yeah, I know that.
Not really.
I agree with that. But I think this is where the recruitment did the wrong idea of what they thought Caicedo is, and that's why they're in this dilemma right now where Caicedo's not performing the best, but Enzo's there, but when Enzo's not there, Caicedo always starts performing the best because he's a different role in the team.
Exactly, and then also too, what we have to remember is how well Enzo performed when he was under Potter, and the reason Enzo performed like this was because he was essentially just an advanced 8. He was getting into pockets, making and then he had runners. He had certain players like Joao Felix.
Under Potter, Enzo was the deep lying playmaker. He was the deepest midfielder under Potter.
Really?
Yeah, we
For
played.
some reason, I remembered him occupying like a little, not fully advanced.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about in spaces where he is able to cross it
where
into
he
the box
can impact
and through
the
ball.
game
Yes,
more effectively.
I know. I think I don't know what Brian is because I actually heard what Brian is saying because I was watching some of the Chelsea's game last season under Potter. But I think it's more in possession, outside the position, where I think Potter gave you just a bit more freedom to operate in certain situations. Like I think last season, Potter was able to play Enzo more like he was at Benfica than how Enzo looks right now
Bless me.
with Pochettino, where he doesn't look like a player that looks like. So I was saying, players like Enzo is the worst case scenario that you can give for Pochettino because he's never going to utilize these guys to the best capabilities. Where I feel like Potter was like, you know what, I'm gonna let you do your thing in terms of what you know you can do the best, and that's why you saw a lot of the trademark crosses, the trademark through balls that you saw Enzo do.
And what Poch is, he has not figured that out. Either you adapt or you drop Enzo completely.
But no, the thing, well, I agree with you. But sometimes, just from a contractual perspective, they're not even allowed to do that.
No, then that's fine. Then adapt. If you can't drop him,
that is it. But this is why I just would solely blame certain people, because you have certain managers that just don't adapt.
No. And he's one of them.
And Poch is 100% one of them.
And that's why it goes back to what I said in the summer.
That's why I didn't want him in the first place.
Prime was on it for Prime been on it for time, and I remember I had many discussions with Prime even after streams, and I said call it before long, people. Even if Pochettino ends the season, the guy should still leave, because for me it's like the guy's still the same guy from what he's been even before. Yeah, exactly. So unless Chelsea is willing to go and get players in that he wants, and like it or not, Chelsea fans, you might as well get rid of Enzo if this guy stays, because this guy is never gonna get the best out of him. He's gonna force certain things.
No, get rid of Enzo, man. Liverpool just go slap a like a 25 mil.
25 mil is crazy.
The conversation, but like
discount.
If Poch is gonna stay, you get players that suit his style, because there's no point in keeping him. Then it's gonna be a waste.
Yes.
But honestly, you're right. You're very right, and I think an addition of like 3 proper players with some of the players that you currently have in the squad would actually make a difference in terms of the way Poch wants to coach. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
But I do think
that's annoying though, because Poch is just gonna get sacked anyway, so it's gonna be a waste. Which is why I keep saying
just leave.
Get rid of him.
Like, bro, just I think maybe he wants a severance package. So yeah, they should get rid of him.
Chelsea fans are trying to say we should keep him because of how we've been our last few games, but no one's taken into account our last few games. We got battered by Arsenal. An Everton game we won 6-0 that everyone is gassed about. Mm-hmm. If you watch that game back, that game should have ended 6-3. The chances Everton had, they didn't take advantage of.
But that's what's happened all this season. That's why Manchester United is where they are, because teams just aren't punishing them.
See, Brian probably agrees with you that, but the issue is like he's trying to say that people don't look at these things and they look at the fact that, because Tottenham fans do this a lot. I talk about the fact, like I don't get why Tottenham fans are surprised of this 4-game losing streak when this game I've seen the same game be happening for the all 2024. Even games that we have won, the same things happens. It's just that this time around we're getting punished for these things. Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, we're getting punished for these things. But even games that we won, same thing happened. But because your team wins, it doesn't matter for a lot of people. Only when your team starts losing or dropping points.
The 6-0 or the 5-0 we lost against Arsenal. If Palmer was on the field, that game ends 5-3. All of a sudden, Chelsea fans are not angry. So that's true. And that's why Poch has to go.
You do realize why Palmer is thriving in his system. It's the same reason why Harry Kane thrived in the system. It's the same reason why Dele Alli and these men thrive.
See, Palmer right now, he's benefiting, and I'm not taking away from him, but it's just the reality of just the way I really just feel about it. It's the fact that I just know Pochettino. He's just going to put the best players that he thinks in his mind out there and let the best players just do what they're
and
supposed
give
to do.
them the freedom. Yes, that's
Yes,
what Ericsson
let them
had
do.
was freedom. That's why he was
And
so good.
I'm not saying that the next manager that comes in power will all of a sudden be all of a sudden a bad player, all of a sudden not put the same numbers up. I'm just saying currently from what I'm looking at this season, and I know, and you still obviously have to do it because you see some of the other guys that get the freedom and they don't do as well as Palmer. But I'm just talking about from the sense of why Palmer's numbers look so amazing, in my opinion, and why he's been able to play the way he's been playing the seasons. Because Pochettino let him have the freedom, and because the guy has IQ, he comes from a good place already, from a footballing place in City. So he's just doing what he learned and just applying on the football pitch with having more game time.
But I think a big part of Cole Palmer is in comparison to the City Cole Palmer is just Pep. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of Pep have a lot of creative players in his team, but not all of them have the license to be creative.
Yes.
Like Jack Grealish, like his wingers are very regimented in how they should play. Like it is, and then it depends on the player and the relationship with Pep as to how they would then actually approach certain games. Because I've seen Jack Grealish get hounded for games that I think he absolutely played well in, and the reason I think he played well in them is because I know the instructions that he's receiving. You get what I say? Because I know how these wingers operate. Bro, don't lose the ball. This and that. No, for Jack Grealish, usually Pep plays him when he needs a certain level of control over a particular game, right? And then usually the substitution happens for Doku because Doku is a different style. So then he sends Doku under different instructions. Yo, try to unlock this game because we've been having problems with so and so. You get what I say? But it doesn't mean that Jack Grealish necessarily had a bad game. It just means that he changed the play style because they were having the instructions that he gave his players weren't working for this particular game. So no, let's change it up a bit. You get what I say? But a big part of it is, Grealish is still Grealish. It's just that he's not being allowed to be Grealish 24/7. Like Aston Villa Grealish would never. It's just like Man City Cole Palmer and Chelsea's Cole Palmer is just two different Cole Palmers. It's the same thing with Grealish. So I said that to say where it just depends on the manager that you bring in, because chances are for Chelsea to be a bit more successful all round, maybe Cole Palmer need just a little bit more shackles. You get me? But I don't necessarily think, just because of his quality, I don't necessarily think it would affect his game too much.
No, right. Unless you get somebody in that's just completely like, see, if they were to get, for example, someone like Enrique, that's like, Enrique would like somebody like Palmer, but like Enrique's system is quite rigid, though, like you literally mentioned. It's closer to like Pep, so there's gonna be restrictions. There's gonna be restrictions, and it's kind of like, I mean, any manager has some sort of level of restriction, and some managers are like ironically, Paul, like Xabi Alonso with Palmer would be amazing. He would love somebody like him. I think he would love somebody like Palmer. Yeah,
him and Wirtz have a similar profile.
Yes, 100%. So it's kind of like it's interesting. Like I don't know who Chelsea's been linked with. Apparently, obviously, Xabi's interested. I've seen a list saying that
we might end up keeping. This is what I was trying to get to. We might end up keeping Poch.
Yeah, I heard that rumor too, which makes this, because I know you don't like it, but apparently the objective is to get Europa League, and you are literally right there. So it's not out of the possibilities to think that he can stay.
What I'm worried about is that we keep him just to sack him anyway.
I heard that.
Instead of giving a new manager a preseason to actually do something with the squad.
Okay, but can I ask a question?
That's the problem with these owners. They will
who
manager at the wrong time.
If Poch stays, who do you play? Because you want him gone.
The owners.
Like in particular, like just in Bali or just everybody. Everybody.
Whoever who's in charge
whoever's
of
in
hiring
charge,
and firing is responsible.
First, yeah. Because obviously people, because I heard stuff like Bowley's not even like involved in these things. But
Oh
then
no,
people
I'm
still
not.
play
I'm not going
Bowley.
to be. I'm
Yeah.
not going to be stupid like Chelsea fans and just blame everyone. Whoever who's in
Yeah.
charge gets the blame.
Fair enough. Now I heard it. And I think your concerns are not necessarily wrong, especially if you go and spend big money, but then the next manager maybe does want some of these guys. I don't know, man. Yo, where's Flores, by the way? His connection must have died because I know they went live on the playbook for the Thunder game.
Bro, we are so close. Like the Prem is like.
Let me see. Check.
I don't know. We're just.
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
Bro, the Prem is so bad that we are so
It is
close.
very bad. It is very bad, but a lot of a big word that I have that I don't really see a lot of people having is the simple word that Man City actually now know their deficit and they can still win with this deficit, and then they'll have a summer window to go in and improve on that deficit.
Oh
And
no,
I don't
I'm
think,
not talking
and I
about Man
don't
City.
think any team, around them are actually going to improve that much. So like the City might just end up walking the league very easily next year.
I'm not talking. Alex, I'm not talking about Man City. I'm talking about we're close to.
Unless
like,
Arne Slot.
We're like where Arsenal are as great as Arsenal are, where they are is not that far away. It's not that far away.
Come again?
Like I'm not talking about catching City, but when I look at Arsenal, as great as Arsenal are, I don't think it's that far away.
Bro, I agree. Because to be honest, at Newcastle, like we have some of the pieces that they don't. Arguably,
I'm not talking about Newcastle.
Well, I know you're gonna advocate for Chelsea, which I agree. You guys ain't that far away either, because you guys have certain things that Arsenal don't, in terms of being like a good team. But I agree with you, like overall. Arsenal are good, but they still lack as a squad. Whereas I think Chelsea actually have like a pretty good squad overall. But
no, that's not what I mean. What I mean is like you get me a proper coach, a proper coach over the next like year or two. Can we quote unquote be gassed about challenging for the league? Yes, it's not that far. This league is so bad that if you're drilled and regimented, you can easily rise up.
No, but you have to also remember. You have to also remember, that your team went and got a lot of players that weren't proven, and a lot of these players aren't actually as good as a lot that Chelsea fans think. In my opinion, at least, there are a lot of players you have that aren't to the quality to actually. Because, bro, you have to remember the discrepancies are quite big in comparison to where you want to be. Like which ones? All right. So, for instance, right, when you think of a cohesive squad, so take Arsenal squad, for example, a big part of Arsenal squad is their defense.
Oh, yeah.
And the defense and the midfield and how good it is. Their weak point is their attack. Yeah. Chelsea, on the other hand, I think has weak points in all facets of their team, right?
But that's because we're not coached properly.
I wouldn't 100% attribute it to that, because I think it's multiple factors playing a part in that. No, would a better coach? I wouldn't even say better coach. Would a coach who suit these players better? Would that help you improve your league form and so on and so forth? Yes. But there still will be certain lapses. There still will be certain mistakes. There still will be certain things in your team that, as it's currently constructed, that you'd still probably fight for a 5th, 6th place finish. You get me? You'd be like in an Aston Villa type thing. Now to get to the Arsenal level, I think, and this might sound strange, I think with a bit of reconstruction, Poch can do it. But there has to be reconstruction.
Yeah, but that's my point. Maybe he can, but that's my point, Lex, that it's not that far away.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. It's not that far. Like, and yes, that's also an indictment of how bad this league is, to be fair. But like, we are not that far away. Whether it's with Poch or with a different manager, we are not that far away.
So I think, all right, I don't know if you guys would bin Sterling, but binning Sterling would help. Binning,
they have to.
There are quite a few players you could bin. I think Jackson is essential to the team, but Jackson cannot be a striker. He has to be a creative wing player.
Winger,
just has to be.
Yeah.
With a right wing or left wing. Let's say you're going to play a 4-2-3-1, right? Cole Palmer is just a mainstay at this point. No, it just depends on the manager that you'd bring in. Let's say you want to play a 3 in midfield. I think that would help you way better.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if you're going to use the 3 as Enzo Caicedo and Gallagher, the problem is 2 of these guys are not very injury prone, but you need solid backup. So to talk, we already need solid changes in your starting lineup. No, we have to actually now go to the bench and start to say, okay, say Enzo is unfit, say this player is unfit. Who can come in and replace them adequately that we keep the same system and so on and so forth. I think there's just it's you guys really need a real team of footballing people to actually just make proper decisions. I just don't know. I would have to sit and see what Chelsea does before I can actually have anything. It's like when somebody is like a puzzle. Chelsea to me is like a puzzle that is a bit more complex than my brain at this point in time. You get me?
Yeah, well, you might say my bad. Wi-Fi playing.
Yeah,
I'm back.
So I was saying that Chelsea is just a crazy puzzle right now, where I could try my best to think of how to fix the issues that they have. But I think we have to just sit and see how they try to fix it. Because I can't pinpoint. So I can look in the squad and say, okay, I'll make these changes, that change, or that change, right? But I think there's so many changes that we could have a discussion for a long time. Because I think you might have good players that won't necessarily suit a different manager. You currently have good players that don't suit Poch. So if you're going to decide to keep Poch, then you have to change some of these players. But then if you want to get rid of Poch, you have to then bring in a manager that can use all of these players. And maybe you'd have less tweaks. You get me? But it's still a trial and error type thing. Because number one, all right, who's the manager? Who's available? It's not to say you can't get a better manager, but it's still a trial process. You could bring in a manager that is worse than Poch, or does worse than Poch in construction of the team.
That's what I'm worried about. My worry is, because I think there are quality managers that will be available right now. My worry is they will keep Poch, and then just to sack him by November, and then we end up scrambling around and
getting Ten Hag.
Hey, let's run that, man. I'm with that.
But another bad, like Flawless, we did this last year. We sacked Tuchel when we shouldn't have.
Yes.
I kept saying, wait until the World Cup to sack Tuchel.
Yes.
We didn't do that. Then we got Poch just to sack him anyways, and then get an interim like Lampard. We're going to do the same thing. We're not here.
Essentially, what I'm saying without all the waffle is, the current construction of your front office isn't good enough where I can have faith that they'll actually fix the problem. Because in trying to fix the problem, they've created way more problems. So now, to try and fix this problem, I think they'll just mess it up again. I think they might sit in the office and think their best bet, because they're so incompetent, is to keep Poch.
Yeah, that's crazy. The fact that there is conversation
incompetent
about that
people know when they're incompetent. Don't let them fool you. And this team is very incompetent. So unless Bowley is going to come and say, yo, we need to do this, or unless these guys perform to a lower level and they're actually competent, but this current construction of the squad, the manager, the midfield, the defense, the attack, all of these things, it's just crazy, blood.
Hey, love everyone that's not in before we close out. Yeah, go on, Steve. Go on.
Remember, I told you, Flawless, they're going to keep Poch for next season.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right.
They will. They are definitely going
to. 100%, man. 100%. I'm without doubt. And big up to Justice as well. He says, make sure you let Ryan know that the 16 out of 10 is now in the stateside. Facts, I did see that. Big up to you, Justice. I got the email as we was live. Links for the t-shirts, people. As you can see, I'm saying this is the white and black one right here, available worldwide now. Link is in the pinned comment, people. So get your tees. Get your tees, people. 1 second before we move on. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe as well. Big up the gang holding it down as my router decided to start playing up as well. To Andy, you asked me Flawless for selling Fred a mistake by Ten Hag. No, Fred wasn't good enough and needed to be moved on. The problem was the replacement wasn't good enough. But that's how you have to keep going.
I think the question is, in hindsight, was it?
Nah, because we wouldn't be much better off with him. It's like you mentioned your midfield about it being shit and it's better now, but it's still shit. That's what we are with Fred. Is Fred better? Yes.
But Fred is better. No, but yes, you need the better.
Shit. No. We need
you
better.
You would want the better, innit?
No. I want quality. Fred is not that.
No, but no. Flawless. You have to remember that depends on the style of football that you want to play.
I don't want Fred anywhere near my team regardless.
But why you behave like Fred is shit?
I'm not for where we're trying to go.
Because he's not that good.
That's the thing. Like he's good. He's good, but he's not good to what like Flo said. You can't look at Fred and say he's gonna be.
Fred isn't bang average.
Akil is dead. He's a squad player at best. If you're trying to go to where you're trying to go.
No, Flawless, but it depends on how you're trying to go there.
He's a squad player for where you're trying to. We're trying to do.
It depends on how you're trying to go there.
He's a squad
player. If you're trying, listen, Fred at Liverpool, prime Jurgen Klopp would be a fucking crazy player.
Yeah, cool.
And this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you not would have criticized him the way you criticized Henderson.
But Fred isn't a Henderson.
No, but there's limitations in Fred's game that you wouldn't then talk about.
Fred is super limited.
Yes, but
what are we talking about?
But what I am saying is, it depends on how you're trying to get there.
Let me just clarify this. Before, I'm not doing no Fred thing. Like Fred is an average player at best. But if you're trying to compete for Premier League and Champions League, you need better.
But we have competed for Premier League and Champions League worst players. This is what I am saying.
And why did you fall short? And why did you fall short and not win everything you wanted to? You should have won.
But we've won. That's the point.
No. You could have done more.
You won, but you should have won.
We could have done more, but you're saying for where you want to go.
Yes, but I want to win more. I'm not happy with
Flawless wants to win. Like, it's not that Flawless wants to get there, but not just only one time and then.
I'm not complaining. Yeah, that's it. I'm just clarifying. I'm not banking on. No, I'm not selling Fred was the right move. The same way selling De Gea was the right move. Now, is Fred and De Gea better than what we've currently got? Yes, but they're still not good enough. So we're just comparing shit to shit. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. If I'm looking for a 10,
it's a conversation worth having in it.
You got it's really not. You can have that conversation. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in comparing Fred to Mount.
Listen,
to De Gea. I'm not with that. I'm good. I said I'm not interested in comparing Fred to Amrabat or Fred to Mount and Onana to De Gea when they're all of them that I've just mentioned are not good enough. They're all not good enough. I don't think
flawless. Flawless for all these people who make all of this money, right? Mm-hmm. And we just sit here as just some regular poor individuals.
Yeah.
Why is it with our minuscule brains, we could look at the construction of this team and realize it was shit before it actually came to fruition? Maybe we should have these man jobs in it. Maybe we should be rolling in or wearing Rolexes and driving fucking Benz.
I've said this. I said this earlier. I was like, yeah, I could do what Ten Hag's done this season. I legit, genuinely believe that Steve and Jez on this panel are better than the Manchester United scouts. I think they could identify talent. I genuinely believe that. I trust you two more than our scouts.
Then wouldn't me and Jez already have jobs in these industries?
Nah, I think you might have wasting your talents, to be honest. Because the incompetence that we see, don't necessarily have to be Premier League, but like lower league, yeah. You watching the football?
Maybe.
I trust you. When I ask you, Steve, and I say, "Hey, what's the profile of? I need a profile such and such." You give me a list of names. Mm-hmm. I could ask you right now. I need a left back that does this, this, and this, and you'll be like, "All right, it's him, and him." That's what a scout does. I ask you or mention a player we get linked with, and I say, who's he like in the Premier League? And you'll say, oh, he's like such and such and such and such. You two and Kaneki are like that. Because I asked you about Slot, and then I asked Kaneki about Slot at a later stage, and you man said the exact same thing.
Hey, Flawless, you know what's funny?
Yeah, go on.
You know, pretty much your worst fears.
Go on.
I've been thinking about it the other day, right? And you say, Ineos, yo, you're on the clock.
Yes, facts.
And then I think about where you say you want to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think about it and I say, Ineos, if you're really this serious, any serious team, Man City, Real Madrid, any other serious team that actually has Manchester United's good what do you call it? Or their team's best interest at heart, Ten Hag would already be gone.
I'm looking at them with the side eye because of that. The same way I'm looking at them with the side eye for doing a deal with the Glazers.
Side eye for this. No,
yeah.
Because the thing is, you can do a deal with the Glazers, but when you come in, you make certain moves. And one of them has to be sacking this manager. It has to
I
be.
hear that. But it's more so from the business perspective because they say, oh, we want what's best for Manchester United, and then you do a deal with the people who have us in this state. Like, I personally wouldn't do a deal with the Glazers because I genuinely love the club. So it's a business move for you, which is not a problem.
No,
I have no
issue. It has to be a
with
business move.
No, but then don't say we want what's best for Manchester. So that means to me that intention shows you'll pick a business move over what's best for the football club.
No, but what's best for the football club also aligns from a business perspective.
I disagree with that 100%. Sale
without the business aspect of it, you won't actually thrive as a club.
100. No. When I say that, I'm talking about that piece of business in particular. 100% sale was what's
so
best for Manchester United.
They should have went to war with.
They should have stepped it. No. Again, from my perspective, if you want what's best for Manchester United Football Club, 100% sale. That's why every Manchester United.
By the way, I'm not
interest.
Yeah, Jazz, I'm getting over to the play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be there at the beginning. I'll pop join later because I need to get some food, man.
When you're ready.
Big up you guys, man.
Yeah, but that's just me and how I look at it. If you want what's best for the football club, 100% sale, which goes to show I've been saying this about Ineos for the you man just want to be in charge, have part ownership in Manchester United to say you have part ownership.
Yeah,
that's how I'm looking at it. It looks great on the CV to say, oh, I'm part owner of Manchester United.
Yeah, because you really could have at least kicked Ten Hag out by this time.
Yeah, that's side-eye. But again, because of yes, but I know our owner's never going to do everything I want them to do, so I'm giving you the summer. And I like what you've done so far.
Bro, listen, you could literally get rid of Ten Hag as Ineos and send an executive down in the flipping changing room and say, yo, you man playing a 4-4-2, keep it compact and tight and just do your thing. That's all you need to do for the rest of the season.
We got a top four was on, the trophy was on if we would have sacked him and got it.
You get me? Yo, McManaman, you just interim the thing till the end. McManaman, 4-4-2 and just...
Trust me, I
the rest of the season, bro.
I said that would have
been with this 3-1-6 bullshit, fam.
But the reason why I'm not on them so like that, because I know no ownership, same way no manager's gonna make every move that I like. So I'm like, all right, you've done a couple of good things.
The only thing that could make sense is they're just saying we're waiting until we get in all our football guys.
Which could be the case.
And have them make the decision. But bro, at some point you just have to fire this man down.
Yeah. I hear you. That's why I'm giving them not the benefit of the doubt, but I'm waiting to see. Because that could be the case.
For me, you know why there's just no excuse for me if I was a Man United fan for keeping Ten Hag right now? You know why there's no excuse at all? Because I remember when PIF took over Newcastle, they gave Steve Bruce one game, and he was gone.
Yeah.
One. And keep in mind the stakes were higher for us because we were in a relegation battle. Keep in mind that Steve Bruce, the previous 2 seasons, kept us up. So technically, it would have been the safer choice to keep Steve Bruce and not hire Eddie Howe, who had gotten relegated more recently than Steve Bruce had. But guess what? They fucking knew that Steve Bruce would have relegated us, that he got lucky. He got lucky to keep us up, and we went with Eddie Howe instead. So there's no excuse for me.
Yeah, it's not an excuse. I'm just looking at it from a reasonable perspective, because, like I said, number one, our ownership is never going to come in and do everything that I want them to do. That's unfair of me to accept that. Two, I like a couple of moves they've made in regards to, they seem to be going about it the right way. But like I said, whether they sack Ten Hag now or should have sacked him earlier or sack him in the summer, there's all of the questions out. The reason why I'm not fretting about it, because all of the questions I have will get answered immediately. I don't have to wait a season. It's not like we've bought a player and I'm waiting 6 months, or I'm waiting a season or a season and a half, or waiting to see him under a certain manager or under a certain system in a certain formation with certain players. And I have so many questions with Ineos, but all of the questions I have for them, which is a lot, get answered immediately. Immediately, pretty much. In the first, before we even kick a ball in preseason, I know. All right, if Ten Hag's in charge, come the first game in preseason, which, let's say hypothetically it's the 1st of July. Let's say hypothetically, I know you man ain't serious. All right, I can step away. I know you man ain't serious, you ain't on it, so I can then disengage and not pay no attention to what's going on. I'm not going to be emotionally invested. I ain't going to be worried about who we're linked with, because Andy also asked me, I see you in the chat, asked me about the Southgate links, and that ties into it. If we sack a Ten Hag and we go get a Southgate, or we go get a manager I really don't like, I don't believe Southgate rumors, just to clarify, because I know you asked me, Andy. Well, if we go and get somebody like that, again, I know we're not serious. If we bring in a manager and then the style of play is not been cemented before we bring him in, I know we're not serious. The players we're linked with, they should be similar. Like we've been linked with Elise. Every right winger now that we've been linked with should have similar attributes to him, whether they're better than him, of the same level or below. Same way we've been linked with Bramthwaite. It shouldn't be the name, it should be the profile.
You want to see a team of this things like you want to see a team you want to hear links to say, yo, Man United are trying to hijack Rodrigo or some shit like that. You get me? You want to hear that? You don't want to be like a Liverpool, yo, we've got Mo Salah, like.
But again, if it makes sense, let's say it is a Rodrigo also. I just want to see we talk about patterns of play on the pitch. I want to see a pattern of play in the transfer market. So if we go to try and sign Elise and we get pipped or he doesn't move, the next right winger we shine should look like him in regards to profile. They have similar attributes. Or he's Elise like. He can be worse. But at least it's a plan. Same way we've been linked with Bramthwaite from Everton. I use him as the example. Every centre back, let's say we go in for him and don't get him. Every centre back should be of the same profile as him. Same for all across the pitch. And these are basic things. And I'll know if we're being serious. The manager
if I see United go sign the Zerbi and then hijack like a Enzo.
But again, let's say if we do sign the Zerbi, the players better fit what the Zerbi does. It's not Enzo. All right. Yeah. Enzo does. It's not go get the Zerbi and then we out there like, all right, we're just gonna go get road runners, or we just gonna go get or even players I like, but he's a pace and power player. So all right, we're gonna go get the Zerbi and then man say, all right, we're gonna go get Onana from Everton. Yeah, we're gonna go get Osimhen and Onana from Everton. What?
Zerbi the wrong guy, fam.
What?
But you did get Jose. If you see Jose come back and then you see Onana and Osimhen, done. It makes sense. On board.
It makes sense.
No more power pack, but you can't lose. You can't lose.
But the thing is, Aljo, that makes sense. If we were to go get Mourinho and then we go and you see Onana and Osimhen,
Chelsea 06 again, like
I was literally about to say that. If Newcastle brought in Mourinho this summer and brought in Onana and Osimhen, guess what?
No, but the thing is,
it's got match.
You don't even need to do that because you already are flipping Isak. Isak is enough for Mourinho. I swear down.
Yeah, Isak, yeah.
Like, and that's where I am at with it in regards to it. So we'll see like 2 weeks. Obviously, you got the international tournament, so that slows down the process. So I'm not on the clock in regards to time like that. Yeah, the Euros, but I'm still looking for again clear. There has to be a clear idea.
Right now,
clear idea. We sign a manager, and the first player we linked with fits that manager, whoever the manager
you see,
is.
if we
Y'all
start
want
getting
Man
linked with
United
Coop
to move
Miners
with
and all of them ballers that we're connected that tell me about, yo, you can't say nothing to me. That may tell you. Can't talk to me.
But hey,
y'all
people,
want Man United
go
to
on.
move
Last
with
point. Go on.
conviction and to actually believe in something.
No, me no want that to.
Nah, obviously Lex don't, but me from a Manchester United fan perspective, I just want a clear plan. I don't need it to be broken down. I don't need you, Steve, on here to be like, you know what, this is what they're doing, and it's a whole tactical breakdown. It should be clear as day. Hey, we got De Zerbi and we signed Enzo, for example, like Lex.
Glorious.
Makes sense. It's not get De Zerbi and we go, hey, you know who we're gonna go, you know who we're gonna go get,
and then who you gonna get? It don't matter who you get.
We fucked with that. It's not get De Zerbi and it's like, oh, United linked to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. What?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? What?
Yeah.
Yo, you should not. Don't. Why
but I'm
Calvert-Lewin have to pick up a stray, blood?
No. I fucked with Calvert-Lewin. I like Calvert-Lewin. I called him Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Deserve a stray.
No. I'm a fan of Calvert-Lewin. I call him Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Last week?
I call him Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski. I'm a fan of
okay.
Yeah. I'm a fan of his, but I'm just using that as an example.
Why would you call him that?
Because
I don't know why.
It's when he was balling out under Ancelotti. No. You know where it stems from? When he was balling out under Ancelotti.
He scored like what, 4 goals or some shit? Like
No. He was balling out.
He scored like 7 or 8 goals.
He was balling out.
Okay.
He was balling out.
7 or 8. Like we out for sell Nunes because he scored 11, but 7 or 8.
Hey man, shout out Dominic Calvert-Lewin, man. You know what I'm saying?
Is the thing with Nunes?
Go on.
Was it the thing with Nunes? Him delete Liverpool off of Instagram fully?
Yeah, because of all the abuse he was getting. That's why, man. It made sense. What year was Ancelotti at Everton? What years was it? Let me know, people.
Not very long ago, you know.
2020.
Yeah.
20. Wait, let me check. Let me tie this up. Hold up. I knew I wasn't.
With Nunes.
They've been battling relegation ever.
Wait, hold up. Before I close out, let me check this. Hold up. I just need to double check this still.
Wait, what we doing?
When Ancelotti was at Everton, his time there. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I know.
2020, 21.
Wait. No, so he was there. Yeah, 19 to 2021. Yeah, during that period, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was balling out. Man scored 13 goals in 36. He scored 13 goals in 36 games, and the following season he scored 16 and 33. Man was just below 1 and 2 at Everton. What are we talking about? That's why I called him Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski. You would kill for Nunes to have them numbers. What are we talking about?
Nunes has those numbers. What are you talking about?
Nunes has got 16 and 33.
Nunes
he scored 16 goals in 33 games.
Nunes has 50 plus GA in 90 something games.
In the league, I'm saying.
Overall, brother.
No. We talking league.
No, we can't compare with Everton because they don't play other competitions. We play other competitions like Champions Leagues and even Europa's. And
when was this, by the way?
When Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
19. I can't believe I'm here doing 1920 and 2020, 21.
Bro.
2 seasons.
1920, 21, 22. Flawless.
Go on.
So back then, we were still having conversations about Ollie, Frank, and Arteta. Then, Mason Mount was still a promising English talent. Back then,
you know what's
Chelsea
funny, Flawless?
won Champions League. Hold on, Lex. Let me land.
You got 11 and 34. You know what I'm saying?
Land prime.
Back then, Chelsea only had 1 Champions League. Back then, Liverpool were still the best team in the world. Back then, Newcastle were on the verge of getting relegated.
Hey, man,
back then, Ollie was still at the wheel.
He was, man. But the point I'm making is
you still had flipping
Prime.
Back then, Aston Villa were shit.
But Prime, you missed the point because they were saying, why did you call him Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski? Because he was balling out during that period. What are we talking?
I don't know what this guy talking about. This man's fresh.
Ancelotti was a bum. Is that the time?
Yeah, that's outrageous. Yeah, Ancelotti
no, he wasn't a bomb.
Imagine for 2 years, you could have any team. Listen, for 2 years, Arsenal could have literally just go and get Ancelotti. And at that time, flipping Arteta's form was like Ten Hag's form right now. Arteta was shit, blood, because they finished 8th twice, and then 5th.
compare Darwin Núñez to Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski. We moved though. But anyways, we're
No,
closing
we're
out.
not gonna do this, you know.
We're not
No,
gonna do
we
what?
have me can't make you prop up a flipping Everton player over Darwin Núñez as much as me hate Darwin Núñez.
I'm not talking
I
about
don't
him
even
now.
hate him. But
No. I'm not talking about him now. I'm talking about him back then. Not now.
No,
He had
man.
hella injuries and stuff. You get what I'm saying? And like I'm not talking about now. Like
The man have 11 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League this season, right? And he has 5 other forward players to contest with. So please, put some respect.
Hey man, if you had Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you might still be Lewandowski, maybe the title race. Go on. Go on.
No. No, listen, bro. First of all, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, this man has.
Hey, Lewandowski, man, is 2 separate guys. But yeah, let's keep it stepping anyway. We're gonna close out. Yes,
that time period.
Can I close out? You know what? I need to close out the show, man. I need to close out the show.
You need to close out the show. Where you gonna watch basketball?
Yes, I've got to go work.
Yeah, but when you're over there, just relax. Anyways, you're not talking or nothing. You might as well spend the next half hour right there.
No, I gotta go, man. Unfortunately, as much as I
one last one.
As much as
go on. I'm listening. That time period, people were saying Marcus Rashford is better than Kylian Mbappe.
We get your point. We get your point. I'm not saying he's good now. The whole point was, why did you call him Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski? And I remember specifically, I was on the stream. Shout out to Aaron. I was on the stream with Aaron, and he was doing a United Everton preview, and he had an Everton rep on. And I remember it. I don't know if I seen it on Twitter, and I said it. And I was just saying I was a fan. And then I remembered I looked at his numbers, and his numbers. Look at them numbers right there. They're fantastic numbers for Everton. And I like that team. Ancelotti, one of my favorite managers as well. James Rodriguez, Alan, Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski.
Yo, in the show, because you pissed me off. In the show. Big man thing. I'm serious. This don't make no sense. You repeat this Calvert-Lewandowski shit for about 11 times straight. For what reason, I don't know what the agenda is.
You know why?
That's why.
I forgot about it. That's why.
That's why I choose call you a wallad, you know.
Why am I a wallad? Yeah,
if everybody look, if ever anyone wants to know why troops call Flawless a wallad, this is prime example. Somebody need to clip this.
Can be clipped.
Clip it about 2 minutes back.
I like the team and the manager at a certain point.
No,
why
rubbish.
Is that a bad thing?
Rubbish. Yeah, man.
I did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what just how you just randomly always decide for twerk for Tottenham for some reason. While on the Arsenal fans podcast, okay.
No. Let me clarify that one. Spurs, do you agree with this, Lex? Let me ask you a question. At the start of the season, so the first 5 to 10 games, were Spurs not playing well and when they're the top of the league and top of the league for a period of they were top of the league for a period of time. Were they playing well and were they performing well during that period from like August to September?
Yeah.
Okay. So all I said was, just to clarify for everyone, all I said was on that pod. Bear in mind, there's 3 people who hate Spurs, by the way. In particular, Lewis and Troops. They can't stand them. All I said was, Spurs are playing well. They're playing good football. The manager's managing well. Their signings are playing well. Their new signings, sorry. And they're looking like a good side. Then it was, you love Spurs, this, that, and the third. I said, are they not playing well? Yeah, but we don't want to hear it. Then the next week comes along on the show. And Spurs won again, because remember, Ange won manager of the month on a couple of occasions. I think he won the first 2, maybe 2 out of 3, something like that in the first 3 months. And then I said, yeah, Spurs are playing well. Then it was, you love Spurs. Spurs are your side thing. So you know what I did? You know what I'm saying? Lent into it. Same way we see it in wrestling all the time. When a wrestler gets booed, what happens? The Rock got booed in wrestling. What happened? They turn man heel. How you gonna boo me and I turn heel and then blame me? What we talking about?
Yes, Flawless, but you still not beat the allegations. Say anything you want to say.
Yeah, exactly. See what I'm saying? See, that's the attitude towards it. So yeah, I just like that Everton team at that point, man. You know what I'm saying? It was I don't really like teams like that, but that was at that point. James Rodriguez, Alan, Ancelotti, Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski. There's a couple of
ballers. They're a little bit likeable at that point for real. Still.
Yeah, man.
Lex, what you don't know about Flawless? He's a troll. So
I'm not a troll.
Me know that.
Why am I a troll? Why?
Why am I a troll? The troll asked why am I a troll? Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm asking because see, there's no error, there's nothing to back it up. We're just feelings. That's all it is, but it's cool. Yeah, we're just pure feelings.
Jimmy Rashford asked why am I getting criticized? Okay, man.
We're saying that. Like
yeah, trust the process in Ten Hag we trust.
Yeah, man. In Slot we trust, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Slot.
That's perfectly fine for me. You're going like you hurt my feelings with this, you know. We already know that Ten Hag is shit. We don't know if Slot is shit yet.
So I'm slotting though. I'm backing it, man. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, what? You're Slot.
Pause.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
No Jesse.
Hey, yo.
Hey, nephew, I'm not no troll, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I am not a big troll. I just give my opinions and people don't like it. It's crazy. I give my thoughts on stuff. I like a team, I like a player, and it's an issue. Like Everton, Spurs.
Asked me this question like 3 times. Yo, who this guy?
Oh, you're talking about? Oh, hey, that's nephew. Yeah, he said again. Yeah, scoreline prediction.
Win at Villa Park.
Yeah, you reckon you win because you play on Monday?
So 2-2 draw, fam.
There we go. But all right, people, we closing out anyway. Love to everyone that has locked in. We're getting over to the playback. Oklahoma City Thunder, Dallas Mavericks game 1. It has already started, people. So we're heading over there to the playback. We're heading over there right now. So get over to the playback if you're an NBA fan. If you have an NBA League Pass, if you have an NBA League Pass, people, make sure you head over there because you can sync up with us. I'm giving out VIP passes for the game as well, people. So if you want to watch along with us, you see it right there. Playback.tv/SarcasmCityTV, people, or download the Playback app from your store. I think Sunshine's still live, so we'll raid over to her. So you lot already know, put 16 out of 10 raid. But we'll be back on here tomorrow or today.
Sunshine not gone. What am I talk about over this?
I presume she's doing a Champions League reaction. I'm guessing so. That's what I would guess.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's what she's doing. Let me actually make sure.
Oh yeah, she just ended.
Oh, did she just end? All right, no stress. I don't think anyone else is live, so I'm just gonna send you up to the United Arsenal show still. If she just ended, but make sure you subscribe to Sunshine FC regardless. Yeah, no one else ain't live still. Oh shit, is Staffy still live? You lot? Let me know in the chat.
I think Staff is still live.
He's still live. Yeah, we'll send you lot over there. Then put 16 out of 10 raid. We'll send you lot over there. But get over to the playback. Like I said, if you're an NBA fan, we're back here tomorrow, midnight UK time for the United Arsenal show. So I'll be back with TJ and Tony as well. You may get a Sarcasm City podcast. I might do a lyrical breakdown of the Kendrick Lamar Not Like Us because he's removed copyright. So you lot may get a Sarcasm City
Money
podcast
time.
as well. You might say again.
Money time.
Yeah, man. You know, 100%. You know what I'm saying? From when he took that copyright off, I was like, I seen the tweet. I was like,
and a G for that still.
Yeah.
Real probably make a big change.
Yeah, a real.
Like maybe when you have big, because look, it's to be honest, like if you made it, it's like a good time for do stuff like that. You know, like for content creators. When them actually have like this, even if you don't do it across the board, but when it's diss track season, all copyrights off. Yeah, just a diss track season, you get me?
Yeah, that's what it should be. It should be that.
It's crazy.
But yeah, people, we're gonna close out.
Everybody eats.
Love to everyone that's locked in. Don't forget all audio platforms, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, you can find us on. And this has been the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.